I have a few Italian friends and every Christmas Eve for an entree, they have this delicious seafood salad, insalata di mare. I hope I've pronounced it right. It is divine. It's a combination of pickled carrots and celery and some baby spuds, and it's brought all together with some gorgeous seafood, of course, because it's Christmas Eve, so let's celebrate. Okay, let's get our potatoes on. I'm using some baby spuds, so they take no time at all to cook. And I've just got a basket, a steamer basket over some rapidly boiling water. We'll place them straight in. Just be careful with steam. Always open the lid away from you so you don't get burnt because steam is very hot. Leave the skins on. The skins on these potatoes are super tender and soft. You know what? I'm going to add a whole packet of the baby spuds. And then we'll pop the lid on. Now, depending on the size of your baby spuds, they may take 15 to 20 minutes. Now for the pickling agent for our carrots and our celery, 500 millilitres of white wine vinegar. You could also use apple cider vinegar into a pot. And we'll pop the heat on, along with 100 grams of caster sugar and 2 bay leaves will give it a lovely flavour. And then some sea salt. I'll measure out 1 teaspoon. All right, now we're just going to bring this up to the boil until the sugar and that salt dissolves. Once that happens, we'll take it off the heat. Now for these gorgeous veggies, so for the carrots, what I'm doing is just slicing it on an angle, 2 centimetres thick. I want some crunch with this. This is a pickled celery that only takes an hour or 2 to pickle. You could do these the day before, but they will be quite strong in flavour. So we'll do that for the second one. And you can change up the vegetables, but this is very classic, and I know my friends love to use the combination of baby spuds and carrots and the celery. So with the carrots, nice firm carrots when you're choosing them at the store. So I'm just going to peel the carrots and I'll slice them on an angle, just like the celery. Okay, this pickling agent has cooled down now, so I'll just pour it straight over the celery and then over the carrots. It can be slightly warm but not rapidly boiling. If it's boiling too much, it's going to start cooking the veggies, and we don't want it to cook the veggies, we want a crunch. So we'll just make sure that each individual bowl has enough of the liquid and the bay leaf. Now I haven't mixed the vegetables together because the carrots will colour our gorgeous celery. We want to keep that vibrant colour. So we'll leave these to marinate 1 to 2 hours. You can pop them in the fridge if you like. We can start marinating our seafood too. Look how gorgeous this seafood looks. Big fat scallops, some squid. I love the tentacles just as much as the hood, and I've just cut them into small pieces, and also some beautiful green prawns. Now all I'm adding to this is some minced garlic, and I'll place this into a bowl. I don't want to overdo it with the flavours here because we're going to get a nice hit of pickling agent from our carrots and celery. So we really want to taste the seafood and those veggies, so don't overdo it. 1 clove. Perfect. A pinch of sea salt, some freshly cracked pepper, and some extra virgin olive oil. So we want a few tablespoons of that, and I'll mix that together. And then I'll pour that over our gorgeous array of seafood. So we'll just mix that. I like to get my hands in there and mix it so everything's coated in that olive oil. And I'm going to leave this at room temperature. Just like any other protein, like you were working with meat, bringing the seafood out, having it at room temperature just makes you better at cooking it because you've got the control. It won't overcook. So this is going to sit out for about 1 hour and then we can start grilling it. By that time, the potatoes will be cooked and I'll let them cool down to room temperature. Okay, the potatoes are cooked, they've cooled down. Now it's time to cook our gorgeous seafood that my fishmonger Manny's given me. Now when you're cooking seafood, there's an order because some take longer to cook than others. So I'll get them onto the grill first. And these are nice, beautiful Australian prawns. And you don't want to turn them too many times. You want that nice char-grilled finish on them. This is a warm salad, so as soon as this is cooked, I can immediately take them off and we can start tossing the whole salad together. So prawns on first. And you can see how plump these gorgeous scallops are. They're going to take the second longest. And then the calamari, I actually like it to be slightly raw in the centre. The reason for that is it will stay really nice and soft. So a few of those squid tentacles. and then the squid goes on. Okay, that'll take moments to cook, and I'll flip it once and it'll be ready. While that's char grilling, let's finish off this salad with some of our beautiful potatoes. Like I said, I'll leave the skin on and I'll cut it into rough cubes. And when you're steaming your potatoes, leave them whole. By leaving them whole, you're going to really get the gorgeous flavour of the potatoes. If you cut them up too much, you'll lose a lot of the flavour and the texture. They'll become quite watery. Right, in they go. Just separate them. And now for our celery, we'll put half of that in here. Now for the carrots, you can see that they've kept their vibrant colour. We'll add them. We'll go back to this seafood and quickly turn it for the last minute of cooking. Prawns first. Look at that gorgeous colour. You know, I love cooking seafood because it tells you when it's cooked. It's an easy protein because as soon as it goes from that opaque colour to that vibrant orange colour, for example the prawns, or a bright white colour like these gorgeous scallops, you know it's almost ready to go. All right, 30 more seconds. Now for some fresh parsley, scrunch it up, and I'm going to be quite generous with the parsley, so roughly chop it. A large handful of parsley is what we're looking for this recipe. All right, in it goes. And now for the seafood, we'll turn the heat off and then we'll add our prawns, some of the scallops, all right. Now we need to bring this all together with some good quality extra virgin olive oil to dress it, say about 1 to 2 tablespoons. And I like to finish it with some extra salt, just a pinch of salt and some freshly cracked pepper. Now give that a bit of a toss and then get a fork and spoon and then just really delicately fold everything together. Try not to break up those potatoes. You want them to hold their shape. Look at those colours. You know this is going to be so yummy. It smells fantastic too. All right, let's plate this up. A lovely blue plate just to show off that gorgeous seafood. And we'll just pile all of this gorgeous seafood on a nice plate for presentation. There you go. That is definitely a celebratory dish full of lovely seafood, but also using really classic vegetables that we all have: celery, potatoes and carrot. This is delicious, especially that zing that you get from the pickled vegetables.